Part 63. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 621. At the same time, the end of the road to the 10,000 worlds spread rapidly throughout the 10,000 worlds like a plague. All living beings were moved. This road to the 10,000 worlds was also recorded in history. After all, no one won the great emperor's crown in the end. To be precise, it was abandoned by 4 Tianxiao. This dramatic development shocked countless living beings. I really didn't expect that the great emperor's crown was abandoned. What were these 4 Tianxiao thinking? I heard that these 4 people, one is the daughter of the hidden race angel clan, Xuanhuan, and the other 2 are the sons of the ancient race, called Xuanhuan and Huang Dijun. Angel clan, this, isn't it that hidden race? It is a unique existence in the 10,000 worlds. To be precise, it is not a hidden race, but the guardian race of the 10,000 worlds. Their most important responsibility is to protect the 10,000 worlds. Not only that, this Xuanhuang and Huang Dijun seem to be from the Su clan and Huang clan. Tut, they are also the strongest in the 10,000 worlds. By the way, what about the last one? Let me tell you, you may not believe it, it's a girl from the fairyland. Wait, fairyland, are you sure it's the fairyland I know? Yes, and I also heard that she was the first person to give up the crown of the great emperor, and the reason seemed to be that she looked down on it. Not only that, she seemed to have fought with the princess of the angel race. Then, who won? That's for sure, it must be Luoyuan from the angel race. No, you guessed wrong, it seems that Luoyuan lost in the end. The creatures who heard these words were dumbfounded and couldn't believe it. Impossible, how can a prodigy who came out of the fairyland be a match for the angel clan princess? What's wrong with the fairyland? Have you forgotten the Qing emperor? Isn't he also a fairyland creature? How can they be the same? This one is, that one. What's the name of that prodigy? It seems to be Shui, and she, seems to be the disciple of that existence. Suddenly, countless creatures were shocked and their expressions kept changing. Are you sure? Almost, because countless prodigies heard her call the Southern Clothes Queen, senior sister. In an instant, everyone stopped talking, not because they didn't want to talk, but because they didn't dare to talk. There is only one forbidden creature in the entire heaven and world, and that is Li Bai. However, before the creatures digested these news, another more panic news came from the Gigzusi, that is, the Huang clan was destroyed. At first, the creatures who heard the news sneered at it. After all, that was the Huang clan, the most powerful race in the entire Gigzusi, and even the leader among the ancient races, not to mention that there was an old immortal in the clan. It was not until some emperors came to the Gigzusi that they found that it was true. The ancestral land of the Huang clan had become a ruin, and even the sea water of the Gigzusi was dyed red. Then, this news began to spread at an unimaginable speed. It's actually true. It's impossible. Doesn't the Huang clan have a dominator, who is almost at the top of the heavens and the worlds? How could they be destroyed? Too scary, could this be a sign? Should we run away? Run away, where can you run to? If this horrible sign really happens, do you think you can survive? At this moment, the most heartbreaking thing was the Emperor Huang. Damn, he went to the road of the worlds, and when he came back, his home was gone? However, he himself did not have much sense of belonging to this family, not to mention that now he was more fortunate that he did not go back so soon. At the same time, the Huang clan creatures who came back with the Sea Emperor were also dumbfounded, and boundless fear began to spread in their hearts. As creatures of the Sea Emperor, how could they not know the strength of their family? Even so, they still perished in a very short time. Emperor and son, what should we do? This, is too scary. You guys should learn from your mistakes. I'll go first and say goodbye." After saying that, the Sea Emperor left the Gigzu Sea in a flash, leaving a group of dumbfounded people left in the Sea Emperor clan. At this time, Li Bai also heard the news from this side, and said with a smile, "I didn't expect that Xiao Leng and the others were so fast. It should be Chang Ling who took action." At this moment, a voice came from Li Bai's mind, "My lord, Chang Ling lived up to expectations. We have solved it? How is it? What did you gain from this trip?" "To say that there is not much gain, just some feelings." "Okay, you guys come directly to the fairyland to meet me." "Okay, sir, we got it." At this time, the fairy palace in the central fairyland was already crowded with creatures, each of whom was above the emperor. Ordinary emperors were not qualified to come. You must know that these are almost the top and mainstays of the fairyland and the road to the world. "Ha ha ha, old man Suwu, you are still the same as before." Dijun Taishu looked at his old acquaintance and said with a smile. "Tisk, you are so much older than me, why do you still want to call me old man?" "Because I'm a pioneer." "Pioneer, awesome," Emperor Void said, gritting his teeth. "It's not awesome, but I can beat you up." "What are you so awesome about?" "I'm almost there too. When I get promoted, I'll beat you to death." "Ha ha ha, little Void, you should practice for another 2 years." Emperor Jun Taishu hadn't laughed so hard in a long time. "By the way, sir, why haven't you come yet? What are you anxious about?" "We're not anxious at all." Emperor Void rolled his eyes. "Damn, we're here to help you, and that's your attitude. Haha, you think our fairyland needs your help, but you're the one who's trying to come. You old man, you're heartless. We're all wearing the same pants now." Emperor Jun Taishu was so angry that he blew his beard and glared. "I'm wearing the same pants as you, but forget it, I despise you. I'll pluck all your hair out. Come on, who's afraid of who?" Looking at these two people cursing without caring about their image, the group of emperors from the fairyland and the eternal upper world unconsciously covered their faces and pressed their eyebrows. After all, one of them was a pioneer, and the other was also infinitely close to being a pioneer. Why was it like a fight between mad dogs at this moment? In the end, they really got involved, of course, without using their realm strength. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 622. Tisk tisk, wonderful, too wonderful, Sister Nanyi, don't you want a piece of watermelon? De Wang stared at the scene in front of him with shining eyes. This kind of scene is rare. De Wang, you can't change this bad habit. You only know how to eat watermelons and look at your eyes. Have you forgotten that when you watched a great emperor fight, your dog's legs were broken? Nanyi couldn't help but sneer. Oh, Sister Nanyi, what year is it today? How long ago did this happen? What's more, my strength is not weak now. Besides, the old man Suwu and this Emperor Jun Taishu fight. It's rare to see it, so naturally I have to appreciate it. By the way, Sister Nanyi, don't you want a piece of watermelon? This is a watermelon irrigated by spring water condensed by spiritual power. Give me a new one. By the way, is your melon sweet? Nanyi couldn't help swallowing saliva. Hee, Sister Nanyi, can I still give birth to a melon for you? Yeah, you don't have the guts. Just when Emperor Suwu and Emperor Jun Taishu were still fighting each other, Li Bai's figure slowly appeared in the hall. Master! Master! Sir! At first glance, Li Bai saw Emperor Suwu and Emperor Jun Taishu fighting each other, and couldn't help but be curious. I say, what are you two doing, gay? Who? Best friend. Sir. This old man was not convinced and had to fight with me. As a result, he actually used dirty tricks, pulled my beard, and attacked my lower body, Emperor Jun Taishu said angrily. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't use his realm, he would have slapped Emperor Suwu away. Okay, you guys don't mind being embarrassed, Li Bai said sternly. Humph, you wait, old man. Who's afraid of who? We, meet the Lord. Then, the emperors shouted to Li Bai with great respect. Okay, it's the same every time. You don't get annoyed, but I get annoyed. Woo woo, Lord, Niao Niao missed you so much. Niao Niao rushed to Li Bai and said with a smile. By the way, why are you here? Li Bai couldn't help but be a little curious. It's like this. Then, Niao Niao told the whole story. Lord, you won't blame us, right? How could that be? You guys are thoughtful, Li Bai said with a smile. Hee, that's good. Sister Nanyi, I found a little green tea, De Huang muttered in a low voice. Shut up. I didn't say anything wrong. Look at her. She's almost giving it away. You dead dog. Even eating melons can't stop your mouth. Afterwards, Li Bai lowered his voice and looked at the emperors and said, Everyone, I gathered you here today mainly for a few things. My dear friend, you just said it. Don't be polite to us. The Void Emperor patted his chest and shouted. Yes, sir, if there is anything, just say it. I promise to do it beautifully. Master, don't listen to their nonsense. Tell me quickly, Nanyi couldn't help but said. Don't be nervous. It's not a difficult thing. The first thing is to wait until the end of the 9 days. I will completely leave the fairyland and the heavens and the worlds. Hearing Li Bai's words, the emperors were dumbfounded. What does it mean to completely leave the fairyland and the heavens and the worlds? My lord, you. Well, that's right. If nothing unexpected happens, I probably won't come back again. Li Bai nodded and said. Sir, have you given up on us? Sir, please don't give up on us. The emperors of the immortal realm were suddenly extremely sad. The immortal realm couldn't live without Li Bai. Of course I'm not giving up on you. Don't think too much. It's just that my goal has to start shifting. After all, I am just a passerby to the immortal realm and the heavens and the worlds. You still need your own development. However, I also believe that you won't let me down, right? Li Bai directly blocked this road, leaving the emperors at a loss as to how to retain him. Sir, you are right. The immortal realm will eventually rely on us, not on you all the time. Qingxian sighed and said slowly. Alas, yes, we have been under your protection for who knows how long. It's time to rely on ourselves. Don't worry, sir, we will definitely protect the fairyland and will never let you down. In an instant, Zhongaian Wushang, Suwa Great Emperor, Shi Emperor, Second Generation Chongtong, Xianyuan Shenhuang, Qingxian and other emperors swore to Li Bai very seriously. Well, from beginning to end, I have always believed in you. However, sir, can you let us know a little bit, the reason why you left? I know this is a bit presumptuous, but... Xianyuan Shenhuang looked at Li Bai, his expression was extremely hesitant. This is what I'm going to say next. You should all know that I killed 3 innate origins, right? Li Bai glanced at the emperors and said softly. Yes, sir, we have learned from Suwuletu. Emperor Jun Taishu and other emperors of the eternal upper realm nodded seriously. Did you think before that the innate originators were invincible? Li Bai looked at the emperors with a smile. Hearing this, the emperors nodded involuntarily. After all, this is the eternal truth since the birth of the beginning. The innate originator is the pinnacle of the realm, the end of this road, and an invincible existence. It's just that it has been broken by Li Bai now. Now, I want to tell you that the innate originator is just a slightly larger ant in the eyes of some creatures. How do you feel? In an instant, the emperors were shocked and speechless. Each of them had a different expression. There was horror, fear, and confusion, they could not imagine or have the concept of seeing the innate originator as a slightly larger ant. Next, I'm going to talk about the secret of the entire primordial era. I hope you can keep your mind steady. Speaking of this, Li Bai's face gradually became serious. In fact, for emperors like the Void Emperor, telling them this would have no effect and would only increase their fear, but Li Bai had different feelings for the fairyland and the heavens and the worlds, and he didn't want to hide it. What's more, the previous reincarnation experiment was also the truth that he owed them. Hearing Li Bai's words, the emperors instantly performed various imperial arts, constantly blessing their own Dao hearts, which allowed Li Bai, who killed the three innate origins, to exist. Such a serious secret made it difficult for them to ensure that their Dao hearts would not be broken. "We are ready, sir. You tell me. Do you want to know how the Taishu era was formed?" "Yes. Master, I do want to know. In fact, the Taishu era, to be precise, was created by me." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Start. Invincible, Met the Empress's Apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 623. Li Bai's voice was not loud, as calm as water, but in the ears of the emperors, it was an indescribable terror. The entire immortal palace was silent, and every emperor's eyes were blood red. Finally. Puff. 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 Because of these words, their Taoist hearts were completely broken. All the emperors and Nanyi were like this, without exception. For some emperors with poor endurance, even the inner universe was gradually collapsing and annihilating. As a result, there is only one, the body dies and the soul disappears. Soon, some great emperors were filled with endless death aura, and their life force gradually became sluggish. Their whole bodies had aged for unknown ages, like a tree that is about to rot or a candle that is blown by the wind. I knew this would be the case. Li Bai waved his hand, and in an instant, wisps of power entered each great emperor's body, repairing their Taoist heart and inner universe, and pulling them back from the edge of death. After a long time, these emperors seemed to have gradually gained intelligence, and their eyes looked at Li Bai blankly. "Forget it, give you some time to digest." Li Bai shook his head and sighed. With a wave of his hand, the time flow in the entire immortal palace continued to accelerate. 100 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, until 1,000,000 years later, there was just a hint of luster in the emperor's eyes, and Li Bai was silently guarding the emperors, constantly exerting life force on them. "Big man," Dijun Taishu spoke slowly, his voice extremely hoarse. I don't know how much time passed, but all the emperors had already digested this piece of news. Their eyes were looking at Li Bai eagerly, hoping to get an answer. "Master, how could it be that you created the Taishu era?" Nanyi asked hurriedly. "Yes, sir, how could such a thing happen? Actually, I was surprised after learning about this incident. All of this is thanks to someone who told me." Li Bai told the emperors about the whole incident. Fortunately, their Taoist hearts had been strengthened, otherwise, they don't know what the consequences would be. "Master, how could it be like this? Xuanhuan, Great Nether Sky, Twilight Kingdom, mystery." Nanyi looked at Li Bai blankly and kept repeating in his mouth these words. "I know it's hard for you to accept it for a while, but this is the fact. It was I who buried the previous era with my own hands and created the beginning. Perhaps the purpose of everything was just to find the way to mystery. For this reason, even his own memory was scattered and turned into countless memory fragments." Li Bai sighed softly. "Master, when will they come back completely?" This is also a question that many emperors want to ask in their hearts. I'm not sure. It may be tomorrow, or it may take several epochs. It all depends on their faces. I see. No wonder you said, sir, you won't come back. If you fail. No, I will never allow it, I will never allow it. Nanyi threw herself into Li Bai's arms, tears flowing uncontrollably. She could not imagine the consequences of losing Li Bai. He no longer had any relatives, only Li Bai was left. A man in white clothes. Li Bai stroked Nanyi's hair lovingly. Nanyi, haven't you always believed in Master the most? Why don't you have confidence in me? No, Master, I have always believed in you the most, and it has never changed. It's just that, someone of them has already stepped into the mystery, that Xuanhuan. Don't worry, she may be my friend. Besides, I don't think I can really break through to mystery. For $10,000, they are only targeting me and the 7 deities. They should not care about the Teishu era, and I will do my best to preserve this era and the creatures of this era. After all, I created it. You, Master, no, I don't want you to die. Wow, Master, how could you die? De Wang hasn't waited for the day to take care of you. Damn dog, I'm not dead yet. Black lines appeared on Li Bai's face. Ouch. Okay, Nanyi, don't worry, just trust the Master. I will find a way to deal with them. After all, I still need to understand my own life experience. Yeah, Master, we will definitely accompany you. Nanyi kept nodding her head. Anyway, she had decided that even if she died, she would die with her master. Maybe they could make a couple down there. Where is the desperate Mandarin duck? Gradually, Nanyi couldn't help but reveal a silly smile. Sir, even though we are weak in strength, we still have to help, even if it's just a ray, or we can act as cannon fodder, Dijun Taishu said with great determination. That's right, sir, it's just death. What's there to be afraid of? Yes, if there are too many ants, they will be annoyed. Seeing the emperors seeming to die generously, Li Bai also felt a warm current in his heart. He did not expect that in the end it would be these ant-like emperors who would accompany him unswervingly. I don't need you to act as cannon fodder. I still have confidence in myself. Besides, I don't know how long it will take for them to return. I have a long time to prepare. Li Bai looked at the emperors with a smile and said. However, if you really want to help me, step up your practice and strive to become an innate originator. In this way, you will be considered capable of fighting. Sir, we will. Okay, let's stop for now. I'll go see Xiao Sui. Master, I'll go too. I want De Huang too. We'll go too, the emperor said hurriedly. Why are you going? You're going to my family. Won't you scare my people to death? Xuanhuan Xuanhuan said hurriedly. Okay, if you don't have anything to do, practice hard. These things will be of great help to you. At least, you must ensure that you advance to a higher realm before Zhu Tian returns. After saying that, Li Bai threw countless things to improve the emperor's strength. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I feel that with these things, I can be promoted to myth in a month, no, half a month. Tisk, believe it or not, I can be promoted in 7 days. A bunch of little losers, you have these things but you still delay for so long. I can break through the myth tomorrow. By the way, these small worlds are left for you to break through, otherwise if you break through in the fairyland, I guess the heaven can't bear so many of you. And Li Bai said again. Don't worry, my dear friend, if you don't break through to the Forerunner within 3 days, I'll kick your head like a ball. Get lost. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 624. At this time, in the palace of the Xuanhuan family, just as everyone began to clink glasses, a genius suddenly shouted. Instantly, Lin Di and Zhang Changkan were tasting wine and were almost drowned by this shout. Cough cough cough, no, you are sick, what are you yelling about? I almost choked to death. Me too, I almost choked to death just now. And Shui was almost choked to death, especially Luo Yuan who was eating gluttonously, cough cough cough, water, water. Drink slowly, Luo Yuan. After quickly drinking a mouthful of spiritual spring water, Luo Yuan swallowed the food still in her mouth with force and cursed, "You are humming sick, you almost choked to death, do you know?" Sorry, daughter of the Emperor Luo Yuan, I just can't believe it." The genius was trembling at this moment, as if he heard something unbelievable. "No, what do you know? You are so mysterious about death." Lindy couldn't stand the prodigy's hesitation and said sternly. "Well, it's like this. I just got a piece of news. The Haihuang tribe is gone." The prodigy swallowed and forced himself to stay calm. What the hell, what did you just say?" "I said, the Haihuang tribe is gone." "Gone, what does it mean? What does it mean to be gone?" "Well, it's literally gone. The Haihuang tribe is destroyed. In other words, from now on, the entire world has lost an ancient race, and the Haihuang tribe will become history." In an instant, the air seemed to condense, and the whole space fell into a dead silence for dozens of seconds. It was not until Lindy exclaimed that the thoughts of the prodigies were gradually brought back. "Damn, I heard it right, that's the Haihuang clan, an ancient race, how could they be completely destroyed? What's the big deal, isn't the Ling clan also an ancient race, didn't they die anyway? The Ling clan can be compared with the Haihuang clan, they are the race that has ruled the Gigzu Sea for the longest time. You can see how powerful this race is just by looking at the talent of the Haihuang emperor. But it's really strange, such a thing that is enough to shock the entire world, but there was no news before, this is not right. Forget it, it's none of our business, we are not an ancient race, let them kill, anyway, as long as it does not affect our fairyland, even if the heavens and the worlds explode, what does it matter? Yes, we can just watch the show with peace of mind, but I don't know if the Sea Wasteland Emperor is dead or not. It shouldn't be. After all, he left the road to the upper realm for a short time. According to the speed of the spread of this news, the Sea Wasteland clan should have been destroyed by the time he returned. Ha 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 ha, that's really interesting. After a trip, the family is gone. Soon, Lindy and others no longer took this matter to heart. After all, it was none of their business, so why bother to care, although they were also shocked to hear the news. However, Xuanhuan and Luo Yuan, the ancient races, didn't think so. The Sea Wasteland clan was destroyed. How could this be possible? They are the most powerful race in the Gigzu Sea, and they are also the leader among the entire ancient race. Brother Xuanhuan, who do you think did it? Long Yao looked at Xuanhuan in shock. The Haihuang clan, I remember that they have an eternal existence in their clan. According to my grandfather, it seems to be a dominator. The Haihuang clan is the only ancient race that dominates the entire universe. Could it be those hidden races? Emperor Su looked at Luo Yuan at first glance. After all, only the angels have the ability to destroy them. Even the other ancient races are not good enough. Emperor Su, why are you looking at me? Luo Yuan asked puzzledly. Nothing. You don't think we did it, right? If this Haihuang clan threatens the safety of the universe, maybe we will take action, but, they didn't. Luo Yuan shook his head and said. That's right, after all, it is another dominator of theirs. According to the agency, it is impossible that there will be no fluctuations during the battle, but it will be spread after being destroyed unless there is an existence above the dominator who takes action, Luo Yuan said with great certainty. Is there an existence above the dominator in the heavens and myriad worlds? Moreover, I have not heard that the Haihuang clan has hatred for such an existence. If we have to say that there is a deep hatred for them, it should be the mermaid clan. The mermaid clan, it is impossible that their ancestor, I heard from my grandfather that he was not even the creator, how could he destroy the Xuanhuan clan? Alas, you say, could it be that the adults took action? My lord, does he have hatred for the Xuanhuan clan? Besides this, I can't think of any other answer, and don't you think this time point is very strange, just when the road of myriad worlds ends? Brother Xuanhuan, maybe we think too much. No matter what you say, this is good news for us. Our ancient race has lost one of its biggest opponents. It's not that simple. Maybe this is a signal that a great era disaster is coming, or maybe not. Okay, Emperor Su, you haven't become the patriarch of the Su clan yet, why do you care so much? You might as well think about how to defeat me after you become an emperor. Luo Yuan didn't take this matter to heart. As a member of the angel clan that protects the heavens and the worlds, their angel clan has witnessed the rise and fall of too many races over a long period of time. Only they have always been the guardians of the heavens and the worlds. Hey, Luo Yuan, what are you so proud of? When brother Emperor Su becomes an emperor, I will definitely beat you to tears, Long Yao said dissatisfiedly. Tisk tisk, ask your brother Emperor Su if he has such confidence. Just when the Tianjiao were about to put this behind their minds, Li Bai's figure suddenly appeared in the hall. Master, father, after seeing Li Bai's figure, Sui threw herself into Li Bai's arms like a young swallow returning to the nest. Woo woo woo, master, Sui misses you so much. Sui kept rubbing her little head against Li Bai's chest. Little Sui, not bad, you have grown to this point. It seems that this journey of the 10,000 worlds has greatly improved you. Li Bai touched Sui's head, his eyes full of pampering. As for Lin Di and others, when they saw Li Bai appear again, they rubbed their eyes in disbelief. After confirming that they were not dreaming, they were filled with joy. All the geniuses shouted in unison without exception. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. The ancient race Su clan, Xuanhuan, hello to sir. The dragon clan, Long Yao, hello to sir. The hidden race, Lanyo clan, Lan Yalian, hello to sir. Even the always arrogant Luo Yuan was extremely respectful. Angel clan, Luo Yuan, hello to sir. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 625. Okay, get up. No need to be polite when you see me in the future, Li Bai said with a smile. In his opinion, these are the future hope of the fairyland. Naturally, he regards them as his descendants. It must be said that Li Bai has really changed a lot since that battle. Yes, sir. Then, one by one, the Tianjiao stood up, especially the Tianjiao of the fairyland. Each of them had a bright look. They wanted to let the sir know that they did not live up to what the sir gave them. Yes, it seems that after the battle of the heavens and the worlds, each of you has made great progress, Li Bai said with a smile. He, sir, this is nothing. It's mainly because of you, Xuanhuan Minjiao showed a bright smile. You little girl, when did you flatter? How can you, sir? If you don't believe me, ask them. If there were no cultivation resources given by the sir before, how could we have made such great progress? Yeah. The Tianjiao of the fairyland kept nodding their heads. At this moment, Li Bai's eyes focused on Jun Yuyi. You are, the kid from the Jun family, why did you come to your senses and stop dressing up as a man? Li Bai looked at Jun Yuyi teasingly. My lord, you have seen it a long time ago, Jun Yuyi blushed and said. I can't see this little thing, it's a waste of your respect for me, my lord. My lord, you don't know yet, old Zhang is in love with Yuyi, Lin Di said meanly. Lin Di, you betrayed me. In love, Li Bai looked at Zhang Chang'an suspiciously. My lord is like this. Zhang Chang'an repeated the situation word for word. My lord, you won't oppose us, right? Zhang Chang'an said nervously, not knowing why he was more afraid of Li Bai's opposition than his grandfather. Oh, what if I oppose, Li Bai said with a smile. Ah. Woo, sir, Yu Yi and I are truly in love, please don't break us up. Okay, when did I say I wanted to break you up? Besides, I'm not your ancestor, why should I oppose you? Well, in fact, you are already the ancestor recognized by all of us geniuses, Zhang Chang'an scratched his head and said. Such a treason, do your ancestors know? Sir, they know. Yes, sir, they all know, and they are very happy. My grandfather was so happy that he almost glared over. Li Bai looked at this group of geniuses with clear and wise eyes in silence. Then, he turned his eyes to Xuanhuan, Luo Yuan, and others with interest. Seeing Li Bai's eyes looking at them, they instantly straightened their bodies and were extremely nervous. You seem to be afraid of me. Yeah, no, not sir. Your name is Luo Yuan. Li Bai walked up to Luo Yuan and looked her over. Luo Yuan felt that everything about her was seen through. Yes, sir, I come from the angel family and am the angel princess of this era. Luo Yuan pursed her lips and said tremblingly. I was wondering why you look familiar. You look a lot like your grandfather. You are a six-winged angel at such a young age. This talent is definitely the best in the heavens and the worlds. Li Bai smiled and tried to make himself look very gentle. Sir, have you seen my grandfather? Luo Yuan saw that Li Bai was so gentle, and slowly let go of the tension in her heart. How could he be as scary as Grandpa? And the others said. Humph, they were all lies. In this regard, I can only say that Luo Yuan is still too simple and has not experienced danger. I met your grandfather once before, but at that time, he had not become an emperor. Li Bai smiled and nodded. Ah, so early, sir. By the way, tell your grandfather when you go back, I'll go there when I have time. Hearing this, Luo Yuan's eyes sparkled. She just wanted the sentence, after all, it was her grandfather's advice. Sir, my grandfather will be very happy. He said before that he always wanted to visit you, but he didn't dare to find you. It's not a big deal. Then, Li Bai set his sights on Emperor Su again. Sir, I know you. When you were on the road to the Earth Emperor, you were a tough opponent for Nan Yi. Sir, don't laugh at me. I still know the gap between me and Miss Nan Yi, Emperor Su said with a wry smile. Suwuji, is that kid okay? Sir, Grandpa is fine now, and he's always thinking about you. Thinking about me, why? Because you helped my grandfather unintentionally, it's a gift. Oh, you mean the time when he broke through to the Supreme? I just passed by and gave some pointers. It's not a gift. No, sir, it may not be a big deal in your eyes, but in my grandfather's eyes it's the key to continuing the luck of our Su clan, and my grandfather has always wanted to find an opportunity. Thank you. Okay, I know, I'll go see it when I have time. Finally, Li Bai's sights were on one person again, that is Lin Bufan, the descendant of Emperor Fantian. Don't come out, meet, Li Bai said slowly. Just when Lin Bufan was still wondering whether Li Bai said this to himself, in an instant, a shadow burst out from his body. It was a man wearing a raincoat with an inconspicuous appearance, and his breath was like they were just like ordinary people, but all the geniuses recognized him immediately. Mortal, Emperor of Heaven. Damn it, this is the Emperor of Heaven. Haha, I really can't hide it from the Emperor. Can you please lend me a chance to talk freely? Emperor Fantian said with a smile. Can. Immediately, the two figures disappeared. Emperor Fantian, I actually saw the shadow of Emperor Fantian. What a surprise. Yeah, I didn't expect that our generation would be able to see the Emperor of Heaven with our own eyes. It's really a great honor. Hey, is this Emperor Fantian very important to you? Luo Yuan asked curiously. Miss Xuanhuan, you don't know something. If you are the patron saints of all heavens and realms, then Emperor Fantian is the patron saint of our fairyland. His whole life is on the road of protecting the fairyland. Xuanhuan Minjiao slowly said. Su explained. Isn't the patron saint of your fairyland the Qing Emperor? Luoyuan asked doubtfully. After all, among the great emperors in the fairyland, the one he heard the most about was the Qing Emperor. Lord Qingdi, strictly speaking, is the patron saint of the human race. He continues the inheritance of the human race's destiny. What about my lord? This is even more difficult to elaborate on. After all, Your Excellency once launched the Emperor's Fall War. Strictly speaking, it was not the purest. Only Emperor Fantian was like this. Your fairyland is really interesting. I'm starting to become interested in you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Start, Invincible, Met the Empress's Apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 626. At this moment, a space created by Li Bai. Lord Emperor, I finally see you again. I only met you once last time and didn't have a good chat with you. It's my regret. Emperor Fantian looked at Li Bai with a smile on his face. I have heard your story more than once. It is rare to be able to reach this point step by step with a mortal body. Even my apprentice Nanyi has learned some of your methods. In this regard, I am not as good as you. Li Bai has a high appreciation for Emperor Fantian. Apart from those around him, only Emperor Fantian can make such an evaluation. Ha 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 ha, Lord Emperor, you are embarrassing me. I am just shouldering a small part of my responsibility. You know, I was born in a poor family. When I was a child, I relied on the food from hundreds of families to avoid starvation. Therefore, protecting the fairyland is also my eternal dream. Compared with you, I am really not up to the standard. I am really ashamed to let Lord Emperor evaluate me like this. Emperor Fantian put his attitude very low, even a little humble. Indeed, for the fairyland, Emperor Fantian's contribution is much greater than Li Bai. After all, Li Bai also launched the Battle of the Emperor's Fall, but after all, it is only the fairyland. The heavens and the worlds are so big. Li Bai can make every living being extremely afraid. This is a height that Emperor Fantian will never reach in his lifetime. What's more, Li Bai is also known as the Emperor of all spirits. There are countless emperors who have emerged under his hands, just like the Qing Emperor, a creature known to all the heavens and the worlds. Okay, Lord Emperor, actually I have no other intention for appearing this time. After all, I have disappeared long ago, and I have found my successor. I also believe that he will inherit everything from me. I am already very satisfied to see the current appearance of the fairyland and to see Lord Emperor again for the last time. Lord Emperor, actually, I think you don't have to wait for some things, it is also a good choice to end a journey as soon as possible, isn't it? Indeed, you are right. Ha ha ha, Lord Emperor, goodbye. Emperor Fantian finally couldn't bear it. After his eyes passed through the space and scanned the entire fairyland, he showed a reluctant look in his eyes, and finally the phantom slowly dissipated. My end may be coming soon. 3 years later. In 3 years, Li Bai did a lot of things. First of all, he personally found a suitable emperor road for Sui somewhere in the heavens and the worlds. Sui did not disappoint Li Bai's expectations and successfully promoted to the emperor. When he first became the emperor, he was promoted to the second place on the ancient emperor list, second only to Xiaju. In the first year, Jushan returned completely, and now Jushan was like an ant in Li Bai's eyes. However, in order to temper the emperors of the fairyland, Li Bai waited until the last moment before taking action. Even so, the momentum of this battle was very huge, and countless creatures from all over the world came to watch. Finally, after 2 months, after the fairyland lost hundreds of emperors, Jushan was completely destroyed, and a piece of inner demon also completely disappeared in Li Bai's heart. In the second year, after obtaining the resources left by Jushan, the entire fairyland began to take off explosively. One by one, the demons and geniuses continued to emerge, and the entire fairyland experienced unprecedented prosperity. Then, Lin Di, Zhang Changkan, Minjiao, Jun Yuyi, Zio, Mizian, and other geniuses did not disappoint everyone's expectations and became emperors one after another. It was at this moment that the fairyland finally completed the inheritance and completely handed over the future of the entire fairyland to this group of young geniuses. Then, a month later, the Void Emperor successfully broke through to the Forerunner and stepped onto a new level. The Time Emperor and the second generation of Changtong also stepped into the Forerunner. Finally, after 3 years of wandering in the fairyland, Li Bai successfully solved all the problems, leaving the future of the fairyland without any worries. During these 3 years, Nanyi was like a cheat. She was first a Forerunner, then an explorer, and finally entered the realm of Creator. She was hailed as the true first female emperor of all ages. However, just as everyone was immersed in beautiful fantasies, a piece of news suddenly spread throughout the fairyland, that is, Li Bai was about to leave the fairyland completely. At this moment, in the heavenly world of the fairyland, Li Bai, are you really going to leave? The daughter of destiny looked at Li Bai unwillingly. Yes, I should also step into my latest milestone. I don't know whether I will live or die. Why, can't I stay for a while longer? There's not much time left. I've also told you that King Di and the others are still waiting for me to revive them. I still need to find out about Xiaju, and there's also the return of the era I buried. Being able to rest for 3 years is already a luxury for me. Li Bai shook his head and sighed. Li Bai, why didn't you even want to look back at me in the end? Don't you? No. The girl of fate looked at Li Bai, her eyes were red, and a line of clear tears slowly flowed down. She had been waiting for Li Bai for an unknown period of time, and her feelings had long been clear, so why did Li Bai still refuse to accept it? It seems that even I can't escape the word of love, Xiaoling, you know, Xiaju. Xiaoling is the name given to her by the daughter of destiny. However, the next moment, the daughter of destiny made her boldest decision and kissed Li Bai's lips directly, of course, very short, a light peck. Li Bai, I love you, I really love you. I don't want to force you, I know Sister Xiaju, but, I can't control it, I really can't control it. Li Bai, I will wait for you here, no matter how long it takes, I will stay in the fairyland to wait for you. Li Bai, please, don't forget me, okay? I only have this small request, don't reject me, okay? Xiaoling smiled, but it was a smile with tears, and the tears gradually flowed to the corners of her mouth. Xiaoling stretched out her tongue and licked it gently. It turned out that tears were so bitter. Li Bai sighed softly, and reached out to touch Xiaoling's head. Xiaoling, if the final outcome is that I can return alive, I will definitely come to find you. Really? Xiaoling's eyes burst into strong joy. Isn't this the answer she wants? Yes, really. Li Bai, I love you, I will always wait for you here. Yes, I will definitely come back with the answer I am looking for. This day is not an ordinary day, because all the emperors of the fairyland, as well as countless creatures, have come to the edge of the boundless sea. They know that this time Li Bai is really going to leave the fairyland. Of course, they are not too sad, because they are sure that Li Bai, the emperor in their minds, will definitely be able to return, no matter how long it takes. Everyone, let's say goodbye here. Li Bai stared at all the creatures in the fairyland with a gentle smile on his face. This time, he was accompanied by Nanyi, Sui, and Awang. He was not alone. Wow, master, I can't bear to leave here, I can't bear to leave Minjiao and the others. Sui-Ai's eyes were already red from crying. Sister Sui-Ai, don't cry, you've become a little cat. Ha ha ha, yes, Sister Sui-Ai, you are now an eternal empress, you can't cry. Sui-Ai, Chang'an and I are still waiting for you to come back and see our child. Jun Yuyi's belly was slightly bulging, and it was obvious that she was pregnant. Haha, you're right, Sister Sui-Ai, you have to work hard, don't let us overtake you next time you come back. Although Lindy and others said this with a smile, their eyes were red. They had experienced so much together, how could they bear to let Sui-Ai leave? No, you will always be under me. Sui-Ai smiled and looked at everyone, with a look of reluctance in her eyes. The fairyland was her place of rebirth. Okay, Sui-Ai, it's almost time. Nanyi's eyes were red as he comforted Sui-Ai, while constantly looking at the emperors he was familiar with. Huh, Li Bai exhaled gently, okay everyone, we are leaving. Hearing this, everyone immediately knelt down in front of Li Bai. We respectfully send off the emperor, and hope that the emperor will find the answer, and hope that the emperor will completely solve it, hope that the emperor will return soon, and hope that the emperor will not forget us. My lord, please don't forget us, we will always protect this fairyland and wait for your return in the fairyland. In an instant, the shouting turned into a wave, constantly blowing on the surface of the boundless sea. These creatures in the fairyland finally couldn't hold back and shed tears silently. Even if they were reluctant, they could only hide it in their hearts. For a moment, sobbing spread throughout the entire fairyland. They wanted to bid farewell to their god, their king, their savior, and their patron saint. Master, woohoo, are we really leaving? Alas, my Da Huang actually has a day to shed tears. Dead dog, I think you can't bear to leave your little bitches. Hee, there are some. Shui, we really have to leave, not only the fairyland, but also the heavens and the worlds. Once we leave, I don't know when we can return, Nanyi slowly said to Shui. That's right, Shui, we have to leave after all. Well, I know, Master. Lord Emperor, we can't bear to leave you. Woo woo woo, I can't bear to leave, I really can't bear to leave. In the end, some creatures couldn't help but cry wantonly. Okay, everyone, don't cry, I believe that you will definitely live up to my expectations in the future, right? Li Bai smiled and looked at everyone. Lord Emperor, we will definitely live up to your expectations. Live up to your expectations. Live up to your expectations. Everyone, see you later. Lord, may we meet again. Lord, may we meet again. After saying that, Li Bai left the fairyland with Nanyi and the others without stopping. This time, he finally set foot on the starting point of the road, and he also believed that he would definitely be able to reach the end of the road. End of the full text. Huh. It's finally over. Everyone, I'm sorry, I broke my promise after all. However, I think it's good to add an end to Li Bai's story here. I have always believed that Li Bai can find his own answer and find the answer. Xiaju found his own life experience. This book was published in May last year, so it must be more than a year ago. Thank you for your continued companionship and support. I am a new writer. To be honest, when I was conceiving this book, I planned a very grand world view. Unfortunately, due to my lack of writing power, I was not able to portray it in the end. Originally, in my plan, it would take at least 1,000 chapters to complete. I knew that there were quite a lot of pitfalls left in this book. At that time, I thought about slowly filling in the pitfalls in the future, but in the end I still couldn't stick to it. In fact, when I was in the middle of writing, I was already a little bit broken. I really didn't know how to write it. Because there was no real emotional line, I wanted to finish it directly, but I couldn't bear to leave you. I gritted my teeth and wrote it until now. You guys, I keep every gift in my heart. I am a person who is not good at words. Hee, to put it bluntly, I just don't know how to express my emotions. A lot of things happened to me this year, so I didn't update for a month. At that time, I thought to myself, forget it, so I sincerely say, I'm sorry. Super loud. I sincerely thank you all for your company and your comments, whether they are compliments or belittles, I accept them all. As the saying goes, hitting means kissing and scolding means loving. You must be scolding me because you love me, hee hee. To be honest, I am still a little reluctant to give up after all. After all, this is my first million-word novel, which is equivalent to my child. I think you can also guess the plot behind it, which is the destruction of 9 days. Went to the final world and other worlds, and began to improve the strength of Shui and Nanyi. Finally, they entered the disordered world created by Li Bai and found those remnants of the previous era. Here, the innate destiny finally revealed after leaving Li Bai. Xiaoju's body has always been with her, but she can't wake up, until finally, Xuanhuan and the others finally returned, and after Li Bai fought with them, he returned to his previous era. I started to search for my own life experience, and the following plot is almost like this. To be honest, it is very cliché and not new. Of course, I also know that the story will always have an ending, so I placed the ending 9 days later, which is the starting point of the journey. In this year, I did not gain nothing. You guys also feel that my writing skills, have improved. Okay, I won't say any more sensational words. Thank you for your continued support. I love you. The mountains are high and the roads are far, everyone, we will meet at the top eventually. Hey, it's coming soon. I've opened a new book. It's an urban martial arts book. The protagonist is naturally Li Bai. I hope you can read it and leave comments. I guarantee that you will feel the continuous improvement of me. So far. To all the book fans who have been with me, 3, Diamond Suit.